The rigging triangle is a key consideration when making connections to loads and load hooks. The rigging triangle is formed anytime two or more slings are connected to a load and load hook. Whether the slings are chain, wire rope, or synthetic, the best practices are based on the same principles. Focusing on the horizontal sling angles formed in the rigging triangle highlights several best practices that are very valuable to the rigger. It is important to remember that as the rigging triangle becomes flatter, the horizontal sling angles become smaller. As the horizontal sling angles become smaller, even though the lifting load remains the same, the crushing loads increase. The sling tension is the result of both lifting and crushing. This means as the sling angle becomes smaller, the sling tension and the load at the load connections increase, and the crushing forces pulling the slings toward the center of gravity also increase. The result is that at 60 degrees horizontal sling angle, the sling tension is multiplied by 1.15. At 45 degrees, the tension is multiplied by 1.41. And at 30 degrees horizontal sling angle, the tension is multiplied by 2. These facts lead us to recognize the best practice for selecting proper sling angles. For multiple leg bridles, whether the connection is directly to the load with hardware or choker and basket hitches, a horizontal sling angle of 60 degrees is the angle of choice. This is because the multiplier is only 1.15, the side or angular load on the load connections is limited, and the crushing load is minimal. A tool to use to verify that the slings are rigged to 60 degrees is to remember that a 60-degree sling angle is formed when an equilateral triangle is created. This means that the sling length will be equal to the distance between pick points. It is also useful to remember that increasing the sling length will increase the horizontal sling angle and improve the rigging situation. It must be noted that 60 degrees horizontal sling angle is the best choice, but is also the minimum angle for single wrap chokers and single wrap baskets. There are circumstances where a 60-degree horizontal sling angle is not possible. When this occurs, there are guidelines for the minimum sling angles that can be used with extreme care. 45 degrees is an acceptable horizontal sling angle only for bridles connected hardware to hardware and for double wrap choker hitches and double wrap basket hitches. At 45 degrees, the sling multiplier increases to 1.41 times. The crushing forces pull the slings toward the load center, and the angular or side loading is very significant. 30 degrees is never a desirable angle. However, 30 degrees horizontal sling angle can be used with extreme care when connecting hardware to hardware. Never use choker or basket hitches at this minimal angle. Remember, best practice calls for a horizontal sling angle of 60 degrees or larger for all connections or hitches, basket or choker, single or double wrap.